Welcome to CSE Guru. The next topic is job sequencing with deadlines. Job sequencing with deadlines definition. Given a set of n jobs and associated with each job, I is an integer. So the I value carries 1, 2, 3 likewise. That is job 1, job 2, job 3 likewise. And for each job, two factors we need to consider. One is the deadline and another one is the profit. The deadline should be greater than or equal to 0 and profit should be greater than or equal to 0. So now the problem is, among the given n jobs, we need to find the set of jobs such that the job should be completed within their deadlines and the profit earned should be maximum. Each job we need to select from n jobs and that should be added to the set of jobs, such that we need to consider that each job should be completed within their deadline and profit earned should be maximum. So this is nothing but job sequencing problem. For example, if you are considering here, they have given 5 jobs. So n value is nothing but 5. And associated with each job, profit and deadline is there. So among these 5 jobs, first we need to arrange the jobs in order which earns the maximum profit. Then consider each job with maximum profit and that should be completed within their deadline. So select such a job and add to the set of jobs. Then one by considering its deadline, whether it should be completed within their deadline or not, based on that constraint, we can select the job and assign to the computer for execution. So this is the job sequencing problem with deadlines. There are 3 constraints for job sequencing problem. So the first constraint is only one machine is available for processing jobs. So for all the given jobs, that is n jobs will be given. So for all the given jobs, only one computer is available for executing the jobs. That is first constraint. The second constraint is only one job must be processed at any point of time. That is, at any time, only one job we need to assign to the computer for execution, not more than one job. And third constraint is a job is to be completed if it is processed on a machine for 1 unit of time. That is, the execution time of each job will be considered as 1 unit of time. So when it is assigned to the computer for execution and it executes 1 unit of time, in the sense that particular job is completed. That is the meaning. So these 3 constraints we need to consider for job sequencing problem. Next, steps to implement job sequencing problem with deadline. First step is, among the given n jobs, arrange the jobs such that P1 greater than or equal to P2 greater than or equal to P3 up to Pn. That is, the first job which earns the maximum profit, we need to give first preference. And the next job which earns the next maximum profit, that we need to give next preference likewise. The job should be arranged in decreasing order of profit. So this is the first step. Second step is, assume the deadline of job should be greater than or equal to 1. That is, each job is assigned to the machine for completion for 1 unit of time. So that the deadline should be greater than 1. The deadline cannot be 0. And the next step is, the number of jobs to be processed must be greater than or equal to 1. That is, at least one job should be assigned to the machine for execution or more than one job, not less than one job. All jobs requires exactly 1 unit of time for completion. So if you are choosing any job and assigned to the machine for execution, it has to execute at least 1 unit of time. And if it completes 1 unit of time, in the sense, consider that particular job is completed. So exactly 1 unit of time is required for each job to complete its execution. So these are all the steps we need to consider to implement the job sequencing problem with deadline. There are 2 types of solutions we need to consider for job sequencing problem. One is the feasible solution and another one is the optimal solution. So, if you are considering the job sequencing problem, two important things we need to consider. One is profit and another one is deadline. If the job is to be completed within the deadline, in the sense, we can consider the job. Suppose if the job we cannot able to complete within the deadline, in the sense that job we cannot able to consider, we need to neglect and choose the job that earns the maximum profit, because our aim is to earn maximum profit. So we need to order the jobs in such a way that earns the maximum profit. So these two factors is closely associated with each job. And if you are considering the feasible solution, means subset of jobs to be completed within their deadline. So if a job is to be considered, if it is completed within their deadline, means we can add to it subset, and that subset provides the feasible solution. So any job, if it is completed within their deadline, that job we can consider to provide the feasible solution. And optimal solution is nothing but in this subset of n jobs that provides a feasible solution which earns the maximum profit. That is nothing but the optimal solution. So any job, if it is completed within their deadline, means we can consider as feasible solution. And this job, if it provides the maximum profit, that is nothing but the optimal solution. Next, greedy algorithm for job sequencing problem. Problem is to solve job sequencing with deadline using greedy algorithm. And here inputs, if you are considering, D is the deadline for each jobs, that is I jobs. And J is nothing but the set of jobs that should be completed within their deadline. And N is nothing but the number of jobs. And output is nothing but feasible solution of job sequences to earn maximum profit. So consider initially J is nothing but the first job. So first job, add to its job subset. For I equal to 2 to n. That is, from second job onwards, we need to implement this condition. If all the I jobs, if it is completed within their deadline, means we can add those jobs to the job subset. So from the second job to nth job, we need to consider each job, and if it should be completed within their deadline, means add that job to the job subset. Then one by one, by considering its deadline, we can select the job and assign to the computer for execution. So this is the greedy algorithm. So in this session, we have discussed job sequencing problem with deadline, its definition, constraints, design steps and algorithm. In the next session, we will consider a problem and implement with the job sequencing with deadline using greedy algorithm. Thank you for watching this video.